Okay, hello, dear classmates. Um, I will try to share how I transform the open data in closed data, in a codified data. Okay, so I will try to show you, sharing my screen. Here I go. Okay, here we have our document where we have the responses, and here are all the responses that we have in this file, copy of the combined salt evaluations responses. So we open it, and here we are. What I did was work in the first in my first answer or question. That was the one that is in the M column. So the name of this column was "What worked well for you in salt." What worked well for you in salt? Okay, so what I did was copy all this column like this, copy, and then I create a worksheet that is column M, what worked, save, I put my name, and I put it here, and I just paste the answers in this column B. Okay, so I put the answers here. Okay, that's the first step. Then what I obtained, the output of my work was this chart. Can you see it here? Here I have the responses, what worked well for you in salt, and I had 13 responses or codes or codified responses. And the three main responses were the experience of sociocracy in the circles, learning by doing, a real task, and Ted and Jerry participation. Well, how did I do this? I used a methodology that comes from the grounded theory. There is a qualitative methodology to analyze data, but it's just an inspiration. It's not the complete or the full grounded theory methodology. Is just one part, one tool of that methodology. How does it work? You just start with your first response. The first one was the experience of sociocracy working as it designed. So I say, okay, how can I name this response, this answer? How can I put a title? So I just said, okay, I will try my first shot, and it will be the experience of sociocracy in circles. Then this definition can mutate, can change, but we will see how. So I put just a number one, and this will let me see how many times it will be repeated. So if you see, 13 responses were related to this this title, the experience of sociocracy in circles. is not an exact science. It's just trying to simplify the complexity. So then I have a second response that is more complex, is longer. So the answer is, I got to learn about the different elements of sociocracy organizations and experience how to organize and run meetings, address concerns, and give feedback. I liked how the participants' role played during meetings. It definitely helped learning. I liked the concepts of having small teams works on certain elements of sociocracy and present back to the group. So, okay, here it appears new elements, and I want freeze this column because I will lose this chart here. Well, I will try. No. Okay. Yes, that's the reason. Well, why I didn't move. Okay, so I just read again this answer and I say, okay, how can I add new labels here? And I found that a new label was practice sociocracy tools, because it appeared in this response, like to organize different elements of sociocratic organizations and experience how to organize and run meetings. So I say, okay, all this stuff, I will name it, I will label it as this practice sociocracy tools. Then this one said, okay, helping circles. He really liked the experience of helping circles. So I labeled this in a separate column, but then I noticed that they were really related, because the helping circle must be understand. You can understand it as another sociocracy tool. So I merged them in this level. So here we have 3 people who answer practice sociocracy tools and 1 helping circles, and I just sum them. I add this with this, and I have 4 responses for this label, and I just name them, both of them, in 1 label. So each time that you have a new concept, you start creating new labels, and then you will find another one that will repeat with a previous one. For example, here, this person said, I like the concept of having small teams works on certain elements. So I say, okay, this one also liked the experience of sociocracy in circles. And then here I say, and I put a 1, also I put a 1, so I can make the calculation with this formula. And then here, having a practical experience in meetings, learning from Ted and Jerry, being involved in general circle meetings. So being involved, I put a 1 here. Ted and Jerry, oh, they liked Ted and Jerry. So here we have Ted and Jerry participation. And that's it. Okay, and I continue doing it, And I obtain all these labels: the experience of sociocracy in circles, learning by doing, Ted and Jerry, the diversity of participants, team connections, sense of community, structure, and so on. And sometimes I just realized that two columns were really related, so I just merged them, as in this case, practice sociocracy tools and helping circles, and then another one here, learning concepts through lectures and resources, and learning sociocracy concepts. So I merged them, and they sum up 3. And then I put them in this place, and I just make a chart with a simple tool that you have here, that is just insert chart. So I obtained this. Is a little workaholic, but then you can reduce all the complexity in a simple way to read the information. That's it. And I can finish here, but if you want, we can start doing a new one from the beginning. And for this, I will go to my responses. I will choose the second one. First of all, I will clone this worksheet here, duplicate, and I rename it, and I just will put this, and I will erase this. And here I have my end column. So I come here, I put here the name, and it's what could have been improved. And then I go back, and I just copy the answers, the response here. I copy them, and then I put them in my new sheet. And I won't erase the formulas, but I will erase the repetitions numbers. And I just will erase this. So now I don't have numbers, and all the formulas are in 0. Okay. Here I will put this. And if you see, I have the chart here, and I can I will erase it if you want. So then I can show you all the information. So I can use a narrow column here, and I will freeze this column so I can work in a better way. Okay, if you just don't understand one answer, you just don't get stuck. You just try to go in a fast way. And I will erase all the responses here, all the labels here. So I don't will use the same labels. Okay, so our circle was a little splitter. I'm sorry, splitter, I don't understand that word, splitted. I don't know, my English is not that deep. And ended up doing two projects instead of one, which made both projects less than they could have been. So what label can I put here? I would say, for example, forbid a circle split in two projects. And that will be my good enough for now label. Okay, so I put a number 1. Okay, then let's go to the second one. I feel we waste time trying to individually develop an organization structure and then present back to the group. In the short time we had, it's difficult for others to understand the context for why a structure is being changed and a new one proposed. It would have made more sense if 2 or 3 people working on one structure. Okay, I put that label. Groups of 2 to 3 working in one structure. Okay, and I put a number 1. And then if another person repeat that response, I would put another 1. For example, I haven't read it, but if I say, okay, here this person said the same, and I will put the number 1, and it will be 2 repetitions, and then you can do so. Okay, let's go with the next one. I think having other practice different roles might have been helpful. Okay, yeah, we have another one. Rotate roles, for example. It's my good enough for now label. And I will put number 1. I also think being able to plan what some of the circles might be could serve as an opportunity to practice that aspect of sociocracy. I really don't understand this second part, so I will just don't get stuck on this, because plan what some of the circles might be. Wow, I can guess 1,000 things about this this quote, this phrase. So just leave it. It's not clear for me, maybe for you. Okay, don't know, maybe during the meetings give more input when the process gets stuck. Okay, input when process gets stuck. Okay. Number 1, another thing is to learn about logbook and backlog. Okay, maybe I can just copy and paste here. And then maybe you will see that another response is really like this one, and you can change the label. And then, wow, here I have a good friend of mine, Trello. I don't know if you know that this tool. It's a collaborative web page or website or I don't know how the program, online program, and it's really useful. Okay, use Trello. And I put just a number 1. At the beginning is slow, but then you will see that they start repeating for people to be able to try different roles. Okay, here what I said, what I just said. I just put a number 1. Maybe some re-elections, rotation of roles. Perfect. I just more intervention on and guidance dealing with non-resolution and disruption. Wow, here we have another one that is repeating. Okay, here more intervention and guidance. I like guidance, so I will change the good enough for now label, and I will put here guidance. Wow, dancing like a dancing. I like that word. Okay, I don't know if you get the issue. Here we have another thing, another label that is time zones. Better time zone management, for example. Good enough for now for me. And okay, and I put a number 1. Some days I felt the meeting was extended without having any clear objective. Like clear objective of each meeting. Okay, and then I continue. Well, I won't bore you anymore. Then we just put this data in a chart, and for example, I will do this with the labels that we have for now, and I will say, okay, let's put a new label, and I will use a clean chart, but in this way I can see it. Okay. And I will switch row columns, and here I am. Okay. So here I have my chart of repetitions. I will just shrinking a little. Forbid circles to split into projects, one response, and you can play with this chart. So that's it. I hope you enjoyed my first tutorial in Zoom meeting, a long one, but hope to be useful for you. Okay, buddies. A big hack. Enjoy it or just hate it. Okay. Bye bye.